Well, hello there. We're going to be talking about the late antique period today, which was from around 256 to 526 CE. This was the transitional period from the paganism to Christianity. Today we'll talk to you about the culture, art, and Constantine.
In the beginning of the late antique period, Christians were experiencing severe persecution. It was very serious. Because of this, Christians were first forced to worship in house churches.
So, what is a house church anyways?
Well, because of the severe persecution that Christians faced, they were not free to build churches or have places of worship for fear of being found, arrested, or killed. Still, Christians found ways to have secret meetings in order to worship together. One of the earliest house churches known is Dura Europos, and it can be found in Syria and dates back to 235 AD.
I see. Well, if the Christians had to work so hard to hide where they worshipped, what did they do when they wanted to create pieces of artwork?
Well, the late antique period was a time of transition. For the most part, Christians were poor and they didn't have money to commission artists to create these master works of art that we see in pagan cultures. They would only make art to portray a story or connect with other Christians.
One place that allows us to begin to see the development of Christian imagery is associated with death at the burial. The earliest preserved works of Christian art survive in the latest underground burials at the catacombs outside the city walls of ancient Rome.
This is a recreation of the drawing of the Old and New Testament scenes from the sarcophagus of Junius Bassus. The carving depicts different scenes through the Bible, such as Abraham sacrificing Isaac to Daniel in the lion's den.
We find that often grave sites were encrypted so that only other Christians might be able to identify particular burial messages from one to another.
Early Christians often had a dove on their tomb as a symbol of peace and happiness of the soul. The olive branch symbol comes from the story of Noah, who after the flood dispatched a dove to find dry land and finally returned with an olive branch in its mouth.
Chi and Rho are the first two letters of Christ. Sometimes it is referred to as the monogram of Christ. It was used very early by persecuted Christians in the catacombs. Later, when Constantine was struggling to become emperor, he lifted this symbol in front of his victorious armies. Often, Christian believers would scratch a secret symbol of a fish in the ground to help them identify other Christians. Not only was the fish a common food of the day, often used to reference Jesus during his ministry, but the letters which make up Greek words for fish also spell out secret messages about Jesus Christ from the original Greek word ichthys.
A what?
Ichthys.
Itch this.
Ichthys.
Ick this.
Itch this? Itch what? Itch it?
Christians adopted the symbol of the peacock to represent immortality. This came from the ancient legend that the flesh of the peacock did not decay. It is also associated with the resurrection of Christ because it sheds its old feathers every year and grows newer and brighter ones each year.
Instead of recreating an already existing work of art, we decided to create our own. We chose the peacock because of the significant meaning to the Christian faith.
And lastly, Constantine. Constantine is known as Saint Constantine, Constantine the Great, and many other names. He was the Roman emperor from 307 to 337 CE.
Constantine played an important role in Christian history. He helped spread Christianity in Rome by commissioning the building of the first public Christian place of worship, St. Peter's Basilica. And later sanctuaries such as the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem.
He was such a great leader that the Ark of Constantine was dedicated to him by the senator after the victory at the Milvian Bridge. Large reliefs in the attic were stripped from 2nd century imperial monuments. The arch stands 69 feet high and is situated between the Colosseum and the Palatine Hill.
Question number 1. What does the symbol of the peacock mean? The answer is immortality. Question number 2. What was Constantine's first place of public Christian worship? The answer is St. Peter's Basilica. Question number 3. What does ichthus mean? The answer is fish.
The artist thought if he made me look older, it would give an appearance of more authority.
No! I hate being persecuted.